I built my home inside yesterday, brick by brick from words you used to say, windows made of moments we once knew, doors that only open back to you. The air is thick with things I can't forget, echoes dripping slow with old regret. Every step I take, the floorboards sigh, underneath, the buried reasons why. Pictures hang on walls that have no end, smiling faces time could never mend, laughter trapped in frames of golden light. Now they glow alone inside the night. In this prison made of memory, I am jailer, captive, and the key. Chains are forged from if and used to be. Locks are shaped like all you meant to me. There's a corridor of almost dreams, flowing like a river without streams, where we walk but never reach the door, always close, yet distant as before. I hear your footsteps down the hollow hall, soft as dust that doesn't fall at all. Turn around, but all I ever find is the sound of you inside my mind. Ceilings painted with the sky we shared, clouds of promises we once declared. Thunder rolls from words we left unsaid. Lightning flashes things we thought were dead. In the corner sits a wooden chair, still impressed with shape of you once there. I reach out, but touch is just a lie, fingers close on air that won't reply. There's a clock that ticks but has no time. Hands move back to replay every crime, every silence, every foolish pride, every tear we swallowed deep inside. Shelves are lined with letters never sent, stamped with all the love we never meant. Ink has faded, paper turned to gray, still the feelings haven't gone away. I tried once to break the iron gate, fed it strength, denial, even hate, but the bars were built from softer things, tender looks and quiet sufferings. How can I escape what feels like home? Even pain is better than the unknown. So I pace the cell from night to noon, humming fragments of our broken tune. There's a mirror in a rusted frame, shows my face, but never quite the same. In my eyes your shadow always stays, like a ghost that time cannot erase. Through the cracks, a little daylight slips, kisses gently on my silent lips, whispers, there's a world beyond this place. But your memory tightens its embrace. I count the steps from sorrow back to you, 1 for every dream that won't come true, 2 for every time I said goodbye, 3 for all the times I wondered why. On the floor are footprints made of tears, dried in patterns from the passing years. Each one tells the story of a night spent in war between the dark and light. Sometimes hope knocks softly at the door, like a stranger I've not seen before, but I fear if I should let it in, it might sweep away where you have been. So I guard this prison carefully, Polish chains of sweet captivity. Feed the past so it will never fade, water flowers grief and love have made. Yet somewhere deep behind the heaviest wall, past the loudest echo of your call, there's a tiny crack the dark can't fill, breathing quiet, stubborn, gentle will. It asks me what my life would look like free, who I am beyond your memory. If my heart could learn a different song, if my steps could walk where I belong. I do not answer. Still I hear the plea, like a bird that sings inside of me, beating wings against my ribs so slow, testing if the cage might let it go. Maybe prisons built of love and pain are not broken down by force or strain. Maybe doors dissolve when we forgive all the ways we didn't know to live. So tonight I sit beside the gate, not with anger, not with hands of fate, just a tired soul with open eyes, watching old illusions lose disguise. Your memory walks beside me still, but it doesn't hold my heart at will. Bars grow thin like mist at break of day. As I whisper, you can stay, but not this way. If you are a shadow, you may fade. If you are a lesson, you have stayed. If you are a love that had to be, thank you for the prison and the key. And should I one day step beyond this place, feel the sun unfiltered on my face, I will carry not the chain, but light, not the dark, but what it taught me bright. For the prison of my memories was a cage, but also meant to be just a room I needed to pass through on my way to someone new. And true I stood where sorrow used to sleep, where silence once was buried deep. The walls that held my heart so tight now trembled in the morning light. Dust of years began to rise, falling gently from old lies. Every brick of nevermore loosened near the prison door. I didn't run. I didn't fight. I didn't chase the fading night. I simply breathed for once without your name stitched into every doubt. Strange how freedom doesn't roar, doesn't crash or break the door. It whispers first, then softly grows, like winter ending under snows. I took one step. The floor didn't cry, no echo asked me to deny, no ghost reached out with aching plea, the past just watched, and let me be. Outside the gate, the air was wide, no memory walking at my side. No chains disguised as tender care, just open sky and honest air. The sun did not ask where I'd been, did not accuse my hidden sin. It warmed my face without a word like love that's given, not deferred. My shadow looked a little new, no longer shaped in form of you. It stretched in ways I'd never known, like roots of someone finally grown. Behind me stood the prison still, but small now on the distant hill, not gone. Just no longer my room, a lesson carved from former gloom. I turned, not with a breaking heart, but with a quiet, grateful start. For even pain had been a guide that walked me to the other side. The wind spoke softly through my hair. You see, there was always more than there. I smiled. A smile I didn't fake, one born from something new awake. Steps felt lighter than before, like grief had slipped out through a door, not vanished. Just no longer lead that weighed upon each thought and deed. I passed a field of what could be, wild with unnamed possibility. Dreams I'd locked in darkest room now stretching out in sudden bloom. I touched a hope I once denied. Let it walk here at my side. It did not hurt. It did not sting. It felt like breathing in the spring. Your memory drifted once or twice, like distant bells through evening ice. But now it held no power to stay. It came, then gently went away. I learned that missing doesn't chain, that love remembered isn't pain, that hearts can hold what used to be without surrendering what's free. The sky grew wider in my chest, a quiet place where light could rest. Not every room was filled with you. There was space for something new. A laugh escaped, surprised, unsure, but real enough and clean and pure, not borrowed from a yesterday, not stitched from things that slipped away. I did not hate the past we knew. I did not wish it untrue. I only placed it where it stays. A chapter, not my endless days. Ahead, the road bent out of sight, gold dust dancing in the light. Not promising, not swearing fate, just open, and that felt like grace. My heart, once locked in iron keep, now beat in rhythm calm and deep, not racing toward a ghostly sound, but steady, present, safe, and found. And somewhere in the widening air, I felt a future forming there, not shaped by loss, not carved by fear, but something gently drawing near. Perhaps another voice will call, not to imprison, not to fall, but walk beside, not cage, not bind, a love with doors and open mind. Until that day, I walk this land, no chains around my willing hand, just scars that whisper, soft and wise. You lived, you loved, you paid the price. And if at night a memory sighs, soft as stars in distant skies, I greet it kindly, let it be a visitor, not holding me. For I have crossed the silent line between the past and what is mine, between the wound and what can start, between the prison and the heart. Morning found me differently, not someone lost in memory, but someone standing in the day with nothing left to run away. The road no longer felt like test. No ghost was seated in my chest, just breath that came and breath that went, a quiet kind of confident. I passed a river clear and slow, where former tears used to flow. Now it mirrored sky so wide, no storm of you left there to hide. I knelt and touched the moving skin of water cool against my sin, and watched my reflection blur, then mend. Not who I was, but who I am again. The wind no longer spoke your name. It carried neither ash nor flame. It told of places yet to see, of versions still becoming me. I met my laughter on the way. It had been gone for many days. It looked at me as if to say, "Took you long enough to stay." We walked together, light and strange, through fields where life began to change, where broken things were not disguised but worn like truths, not tragedies. I saw my fear beside the trail, smaller now, no longer pale. It did not chase, it did not cry. It simply watched me passing by. "I know you," I said soft and clear. "You kept me safe when loss was near, but I don't need your walls so high. The sky is wide, let's both try." And fear, like smoke without a flame, thinned at hearing its own name, not slain, not cursed, not pushed apart, just understood, and lost its heart. Clouds drifted slow like thoughts at peace, no thunder needing quick release, just shapes that came and shapes that went, like feelings fully felt and spent. I found a hill of quiet ground where once my sorrow would resound, but now it held a different tone, the gentle strength of standing alone. Alone, but not in empty ache, not in the silence heart's mistake, but in the way a tree stands tall, rooted deep, yet open to all. My hands no longer reached behind for fragments time could never bind. They opened forward, palm and skin, ready for what might step in. I spoke my name without the weight of who I was inside that gate. It sounded new upon the air, a life unstained by old despair. Steps ahead began to glow, not fast, not bright, just steady, slow, like dawn that does not rush the night but wins by simply being light. I felt a space beside my side, not carved from loss, not hollowed wide, but shaped by wholeness, calm and true. A place not made to fit just you. Perhaps one day a hand will rest inside this open, healed-up chest, not to rescue, not to save, but walk with someone strong and brave. Not love that locks or begs to stay, not love that slowly fades to gray, but love that breathes and lets things grow, and trusts the heart enough to know. Until then, I am not incomplete, not half a song or missing beat. I am the rhythm, full and clear, the pulse of someone finally here. Behind me lies the memory's wall, still standing. But it does not call. It holds the echoes of my past, but I have stepped beyond its grasp. And if someday I wander near those halls of what was once held dear, I'll walk inside with steady sight like one who's made their peace with night. For I am not the one who cried against those iron bars inside. I am the one who found the seam where pain gave way and let in dream. The prison was a place I stayed, not where my destiny was made. Its lock was shaped like love and loss. Its key was learning what things cost. Now every breath I take is mine, not measured by an old design, not filtered through a vanished face, but born in present time and space. I walk, and walking is enough. The ground is real, the air not rough. The heart once chained now moves with ease, like leaves that dance with willing breeze. And somewhere in the days ahead, where hope and ordinary tread, a story waits I've never known, not built from ruins, but freshly grown. So let the past be past at last, a shadow gentle, no more cast, for I have crossed what once confined. The prison door was in my mind, days began to gather shape, not something I had to escape, but hours warm in simple ways, unwritten, open, breathing days. I learned the language of the now, the quiet here, the gentle how, the way a moment softly stays when not compared to yesterday's. A cup of tea held evening light, steam rising thin and silver white. No memory hiding in the taste. No ghost of love, no hint of waste. The world, once blurred by inward storm, returned to color, sound, and form. I heard the birds without the ache of wishing something didn't break. I saw a child run down the street, joy careless in their flying feet, and something in my chest replied, not pain this time, but warmth inside. I sat beneath a patient tree, its branches wide above just me, not lonely in its rooted place, but strong within its given space. I asked it nothing, yet it spoke in stillness deeper than a joke. To stand alone is not to lack, it's simply not to bend or crack. The sun moved slow across my skin. No guilt, no fear of letting in a happiness that did not steal but grew from something quietly real. And then, as days do when they turn, without a sign, without concern, a presence entered soft and near, not loud enough to wake up fear. No lightning split the open sky, no fate declared its reason why, just footsteps matching pace with mine as if by accident or design. A voice that held no claim to me, no weight of what we used to be. Just simple words, unarmed, unplanned, like water cupped in open hand. We walked a while, not knowing much, no rush to name, no need to touch. The air between held room to breathe, no silent pressure underneath. I did not shrink. I did not hide, did not push my truth aside. I stood the way I stand alone, whole in a way I'd never known. And when they smiled, it did not sting like hope that costs you everything. It felt like light on quiet seas, a warmth that asked for nothing, please. I told a story, small and plain, not dressed in sorrow, trimmed of pain, and nothing in their listening eyes turned my past to sacrifice. No prison formed around that air, no invisible tightening there, just two horizons side by side, with space enough for both to stride. And if this path should part one day, no iron bars would rise that way, no cell would build from memory, for I have learned how to be free. Love, if it comes, may walk beside, not as a cage I live inside, but like the moon walks with the tide near, yet leaving space for wide. So now I move with open sight, no longer forged in loss or fight. The heart once bound by yesterday beats in its own unguarded way. Behind me stands the shadowed place that once defined my time and space, but now it's just a distant part of the long becoming of a heart. The prison of my memories did not collapse in tragedy. It simply lost its right to be the only home inside of me. And should I ever wander through its quiet halls I once outgrew, I'll walk as one who knows the door was never locked. Not anymore. For freedom was not far or late. It waited in my choice, not fate. The key I sought in love's debris was always, always inside me.